Let's put your hands together for our very first speaker, Josh Keegan.
Thank you very much. How are we all doing? We all okay? Yes. Good. So, going to give you a bit of background about myself first. Before I get started, just want to say thank you very much for you all for having me up here, all the support, and for choosing me to speak on stage today, guys. It's amazing. So, my name's Joshua Keegan. I'm actually a chartered accountant. I got involved with two businesses a while back, about 4 years ago, which is Zest Property Management and Zest Portfolio Build, which specialise in house shares up in Manchester. Before Mastermind, I bought 2 HMOs, so I'd done this the hard way. I had used my own money, did it with 2 friends, one was my brother, one's my friend, and we were on our hands and knees doing all the tools, really renovating these into house shares. I got involved with PIN a while back because I started doing the actual lettings updates at Manchester PIN, so the 5 minutes updates at the start of each PIN event, so I got involved a while back then. And it was about a year ago when I latched onto the concept of doing Mastermind. For me, I was in a situation whereby I'm a bit different to some people in the room, so I know a lot of people come to Mastermind because they want to get out of their job and they don't enjoy it. I love what I do. I love Zest Property Management. I love that business. I love what we've created. I love the service we offer to our tenants, to our landlords. But for me, I wanted to be able to focus on that and not have to worry about it. There's a lot of changes in the regulations for agencies at the moment. We all know it's getting harder. You're having to do more and more things. And also, there's more and more income that's disappearing, like tenant fee ban, something big. It's been on the horizon for a while, and it was starting to worry me a little bit about the turbulence of that business. So I figured, how can I stabilise that business, but also grow another income? So I thought, well, I need to ramp up my property journey. I know what I'm doing from a lettings perspective. Let's go for it and do it. So that's why let's set out a Mastermind. 2 things as well. I wanted the creativity, something that I've never had before. I understood the concept of going to an agent and saying, you've got a property on for £110,000 and then ended up paying £120 for it. That was my first one. And I understand that concept, but I didn't know how to do the creative stuff, which is your options and all that kind of the jazz. So I wanted to learn that. Second was accountability. I've been meaning to do this for a while and kind of get into property and really ramp it up. Since doing my first 2 4 years ago, not really doing anything since then. And I knew I needed an environment surrounded with people that were really going for it and doing it too. So that's why I set up for Mastermind, went on the accelerator, fantastic experience. I thought, right, I need this group of people around me, and I need to be inspired by these people, and I need to just go for it and do it. So join Mastermind. I was very clear from when I got started on my strategy. I think relatively unique position because of the agency and my specialism in HMO rooms. Because although I didn't own many, I was managing a lot, and I learned a lot from investors that wanted advice. So I was really clear. I wanted to do high-end professional house shares. I wanted to buy properties, convert them into house shares, and then plug them into the lettings business. So that fed that business too. I wanted to specialise in Greater Manchester. That's where I'm from. Well, I'm not from there. You can tell by the accent. That's where I live, and I know the market very well. And I'm very confident about the lettings market there, and it's got a lot of potential moving forward. JV or private finance. This is something I picked up on the accelerator. This concept of I would do JVs with people when there's money left in the deal, and I'd do private finance if money was going to come out of the deal. So I knew I needed to get that set up because I didn't want to use my own money to do it. Buy and hold, for me, there were certain strategies which I was less keen on. I did want to buy the actual property and hold it. I think that I always wanted to have a bit of an arm's length distance. I didn't want to be managing the property myself. And I think that there's some really good strategies out there like rent to rent and stuff like that, and they do work. But I do think they're a bit more of a self-managing property. If you want to do arm's length, I do think you need to buy and hold and go for the bigger stuff. And minimum 5 rooms are all en suite. So for me, this was the strategy: 5 rooms, all en suite. The reason for that is it plugs into the lettings business, works really well. We find en suites rent a lot better. Also, you're more likely to get I wanted to get my kind of hybrid and commercial valuations to really get that momentum and do that momentum trade in, which we all talk about. And also, these deals are quite attractive, and they become more attractive for your JV partners and your private finance. So they really help to raise that. So that's the strategy we set out to do. It's been a good year. We've achieved a lot. I'm going to take you through a few of the deals. And really, I'm going to kind of go through the numbers quite quickly, but give you a bit of a story behind them, because all of these have had their ups and downs, and they've been a bit chaotic at certain points. So this is Church Street. This is the finished product. We started doing this quite a lot, which is cool, which is the studio-style rooms, which work really well. 5-bed all-en-suite, and includes 1 studio. JV funding came from an investor. Now, this was really cool. So what we did was, after the accelerator, Simon talks a lot about where you're going to find these JV investors. And I thought, well, how can I use this? Obviously, I've done a bit of speaking at PIM, and I did message quite a few networking events. And it wasn't PIM, it was some other ones, but I was messaging networking events and said, can I come and speak on stage? And I thought, where could I do this? And I said, well, London would be a good place. So I messaged quite a few, and it was like with your motivated sellers. I kept following up after they said no. And then I got a message like on the Friday to say, one of our speakers has actually dropped out. Can you come and speak on the Monday? And it was at Mayfair in London. I was like, yes, I can do that. So I went down. I actually got them to pay half of my train fare as well, which was a bit cheeky, but it worked. And I went down, I did a presentation. It was all about the returns in Manchester, why it's a great place to invest, how to let rooms there, et cetera, et cetera. And I actually pitched an investor day at that networking event. And I did charge for it, and I charged people to come onto this day. I think that's a good thing to do because it means it raises the profile of the people that come, and you get paid for your time. And people value it. And I managed to get 6 or 7 people, I think it was 7 people in total, that came up to Manchester, did a full day. And on that day, we managed to secure around £400,000 worth of JV private finance. And that's what funded this deal, and it's what's funded a deal later on. And so I really recommend your investor days, really good, and get yourselves out there. As Simon says, tell people what you're doing. If you can do it publicly, just go for it. Purchase price was 76,500 on this one. Refurbishment was 77. Total cash in 153. Post refurb value 165. Monthly income 2,360. It's actually slightly higher than that. We've managed to get about £30 extra. Bills and costs around 450. Mortgage interest 485 once it's refinanced. Monthly net profit of £1,400. Cash left in was 30,000, and then so return on investment around 57%. So it's a good deal and works really well, and it works well for the JV model because I'm leaving some money in there, so that's cool. And our investor's really happy with that. To set the preface of this investor as well, he's overseas, so for him this is massive to have people on the ground doing this for him. So he loves this, and he's so happy with it and wants to keep growing and growing and growing. He didn't have the confidence to invest HMOs before. Second deal, I've talked about this a number of times on the mic, Sandy Ave. So this was fascinating. This was actually a single let, so we did veer off the strategy a little bit. And this is basically assisted sales. So this was my first true experience of a motivated seller. Like, I know we talk about landlord letters and having the persistence to send them. This was the first time I actually experienced a motivated seller. I was driving around, and we'd just been seeing another property, and I was driving around, I got 3 calls, and then eventually All Day PA rang me and said, look, you need to speak to these people, desperate to speak to me. I was like, yeah, I'll speak to them, So I did. Had a chat, and I basically said, what's the issue, what's the property? I wouldn't normally look at a single let, tell me about it. And they basically said that, come and have a look at it, we need to sell it today. And I was like, right, okay. So I drove over, I went straight over, did a bit of research in the car, comparables, and found out on the street that there was some worth about 85 on the street. Went over to the property and said, what do you want for it? They said, if you can give me an offer today, I'd happily sell it for 50. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I was like, why do you need that offer? And they were truly motivated because they needed that offer today because the guy that was selling it needed to get into a council house, and he needed an offer to show, right, well, I've got this offer. I'm not living in the property. I'm not only living in my own property anymore. It's being sold, so I can move into this council house and get the one he wanted. And so we acted quickly. We did that. We followed through. We then said, can we take control of it and do a refurb and then get it valued via an option? They said, yeah, it's fine. So we did the option on it. So we agreed 50,000. We took an option on it. We spent 7,000 on it to refurbish it. So it's £57,000 in. We then got value around the bank to actually finance it, the £85,000 refinance. That's a monthly income of £515, like minimal bills and costs because it's single let. Mortgage interest 191, profit 325. We're actually bringing cash out. So this is actually completed today. It's been a pain in the bum. It's actually just gone through now, which is fantastic. It's been working towards. Bringing cash out is actually doing it. And so the return on investment on that is infinite. So it means that we're bringing cash out. So we're actually paid to buy the property, and then we're getting cash flow. So that is cool. Very, very good. Deal number 3, this is what I call like the monster, and this has been worked on at the moment. It's my favourite, and it's got a bit of a story to it. There's some cool little aspects to it, and it's been stressful to say the least. And I think whenever you see the big returns, like those are the deals, I think we can all agree which are definitely the hardest to get through. So it's been a 9-month process, and we've just exchanged. Okay, that's 9 months to exchange on this deal, and it's been very painful. it's once again from a landlord letter. So we spent a lot of money on landlord letters, a lot of time on landlord letters, but this is more than paid for that. And the story was they bought the HMO about 15 years ago, been running as a HMO for 30 years, and it was a very kind of not the best condition. It's one of those ones where you go in and you come out and you need a shower. So I've never told the vendor that. I hope he doesn't not watching the recording. So so it was one of those where you feel like that. And basically they were saying they want to sell. They couldn't buy it with a mortgage when they bought it 15 years ago, so they had very expensive borrowing on it. They want to sell and they want to buy a holiday home in Spain. But they were being quite coy about it. They weren't like making it clear that they were truly motivated. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a deal or not. And it was the famous pocket dial. So it was actually at the airport, and I meant to have a call, and I got a pocket dial by accident. We were meant to have a call at this time. And I could hear him. You know, when you go on holiday, you get excited, and you get a bit cheeky in the airport. And he was going, oh, you know, ladies, I've got to take this phone call. It's very important. He was talking to the shop assistants. And I thought, all right, is it ethical to listen to this? Yeah, I'll listen. And he went, I've got to sell this because if I sell this deal, I'm going to be able to buy a holiday home. And they were, oh, really? And he was like, oh, yeah, you can all come and visit me. And it's going to be great in Spain. It's my dream home. I was like, yeah, he's motivated. Like this idea initially, what does he want? He wanted the holiday home. We helped sell that idea, and he got really excited then. And now selling this property wasn't about the property. It was about a holiday home he was going to buy. That was very powerful. So I don't know what this would be worth if it was just sold in the open market. We paid $195 for it. I think it'd be more like $300. I don't know. Refurbishment's $168. Total cash is $363. We've just had the valuer out, and we're anticipating a valuation of $530 when it's done, because it's in Article 4. It's going to be 9 studio apartments. Monthly income of $5,450. Bills and costs around $650. Mortgage interest $1,190. Monthly net profit of $3,605. We're going to bring some cash out, so it's another infinite return on investment, that one. So that's going to be really cool when that gets up and running. Just on that as well, they actually found out that they didn't have legal planning permission, so we helped them get don't panic, we'll sort it. We actually sorted the planning permission out for them. We also helped them evict essentially 9 tenants out of that and find new homes for the tenants as well. So it's been a very long and slow and steady process, but definitely worth it in the end. So I'll just say stick with it. 9 months of work, but it is worth it in the end. So this is the deals wise. So I've done 6 over the year. It's resulted in 35 new units. Each of these deals has got a story. You know, you've got a 7-bed plus a shop, a 5-bed, a 7-bed, a single let, 6-bed, and the 9 studios. On that 9 studios as well, we've not put planning in, but we could get a flat in that too, like potentially in the basement, but we've not included that because we don't know. Asset value around 1.56 million. Cash flows around £14,000. Take out joint venture profit. So our joint venture investors and partners are achieving £3,600 as a result of all the work we've done. So if you add all that up, it's 1.56 million. Cash flow created is 124,000. We've created equity-wise around 357,000. But on top of all this, as I said, I'm growing my management business too. So that's also, because they're all kind of partnerships in some way, all the actual income gets put into Zest. And then as a result of that, we've earned over around £9,000 in tenant fine fees, around £25,000 in management fees over the year. I've also grown that property management business by another 60 rooms on top of this, which is fantastic. It's about 100 rooms over the year. So that's been great. So that's 159. We've also done some stuff through Portfolio Builder. So we sourced 4 HMOs for investors too and delivered on that. We charge 4 months gross rent when we deliver on it, get the tenants in. So it's another 48,000 to that business. So the total is 207,110. So it's been like a phenomenal year, like truly humbled. I didn't think I'd achieve half of this. And I think like looking at our own reflection can offer some really good learnings. I think the only thing I'd say as well, personally, that has been my biggest achievement. Like the mindset that I've had as a result of being part of this group, being part of Mastermind is totally changed. I've kind of gone through things that I'm just going to do it, and I'll work out the how later. I just need to do it, and I will get it done. This has been phenomenal. Like dream home. This is me and my girlfriend Hayley. We are buying this house well out of my kind of price range when I first look in, well out of my comfort zone. It's our dream home, and yeah, just so excited to do that, and I never thought I'd be doing that, and I still don't know to this day if I'm going to get the mortgage on it. I still don't know where I'm going to find the deposit money. Stamp duty is another question. All these factors, but I'm confident we'll get there, and every day we're moving it closer and closer, and that mindset, I know I'll do it. Definitely do it. And secondly, we've talked about quite a lot, like this for me has been absolutely incredible. I decided this year I wasn't going to take it anymore. I need to get in the shape I've always dreamed of being, and I thought, no, I'm just going to do it. Like we've all done with Mastermind, I paid for an expert. I can't take credit for this. I found a company called R&T. They told me how to do this, and I went for it. And I got a spray tan, and I got a photo shoot. That's what I did, guys. But I'm so pleased with that, and that honestly has given me so much more energy, and my mindset, and once again, it's come to that Mastermind mindset of I can do this. I can get a six-pack, definitely. And so I just went and did it, and that was my goal and my focus. And that, for me, has been the most game-changing thing. The property stuff is incredible. This has made me feel really fulfilled and really, really content, which I'm so happy about. Learnings, do it once and never again, systemize. There's so many things I don't do, and I'm really happy about it. Like, I don't book up viewings with agents. I don't follow up on viewings. I do them, but somebody else does them, because these are all things I don't enjoy doing. Comparables, like I've written processes and systems, and I put them in place and give them to a VA or an assistant to do, and that's been game-changing for me, because I like to do the things I enjoy and put a smile on my face. So I've been systemizing as I've been going, which has been powerful. Patience and persistence, like Simon alluded to it this morning, it's very powerful, this kind of concept of planting these seeds and putting them in the soil. Like, Simon can stand there and he can say, you will get there if you keep going, because he knows, because he's had that patience, and he's seen it, and he's done it himself. The thing that stresses us all out is we put this incredible amount of time pressure on ourselves. But what I've really learned is, like, for me, this didn't come easy. The first 2 deals I got came in within the first month of Mastermind. Then I waited 4 months for the next ones, and I did think, am I ever going to get these deals? Like, what's going on? I'm sending all these landlord letters, spending all this money. Like, what's going to happen? But the patience and the persistence, it does just pay off, and everyone that's got a target will get there in the end. I do truly believe that. It will all come together. Just go for it. Like, that's a big kind of motto for me now. Like, I do just go for stuff. Like, I just don't worry about the how too much. Just go for it and just worry about the how later, rather than think too much about, how you're going to get there. Just go for it and do it. Ground your day. This has become pivotal for me. Like, in the mornings, I'm up very early. I have an hour to myself, like an hour of meditation, journaling, all that kind of stuff. I trim my bonsai tree, which is not a euphemism. I spend. It's just very, very nice. I should have thought about that. Very nice to spend that time, just watch them cultivate and grow. And that really grounds me. I do my exercise and I get in good shape. And lastly, some people are not meant to be spray tanned. I will never do it again. I had to do it twice. I'm too pale. Just don't do it unless you know what you're getting yourself in for. What's next? Manchester's a great market. I want to focus on Zest Property Management, which is a phenomenal business, and I love it. And also, as a result of some pretty bad experience with builders, my brother and business partner has set up a construction company, so we're looking at how we can pair Zest and Gorilla and really make it all rocket forward. Not got loads of time for thank yous. Thank you for everybody. Thanks to Toby and business partner, Zest team, who are always phenomenal. All you guys in the room, Simon, Billy, Alex Siri, everyone that's helped me on the journey, because everyone's inspired me in some way, shape or form, so thank you. Just to finish, I think this has really resonated with me this year. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. I feel like I've had some good success from a property side of stuff, but for me, it's been about really that mindset, and I genuinely feel fulfilled and very content and happy. So it's really kind of made me feel fantastic. So thank you all. I hope that's been useful, and I'll see you all for the rest of the day. Cheers, guys.